So this problem is from the Trig Applications, problem number 2. And just to give you a few hints to make sure you get started okay. So the key is to be able to read the problem and realize that at time 0.7 there were 800 boxes reported. So this is 800. And then if you keep reading, you can see that the next minimum of foxes, 200, occurred at 2.9. So at 2.9 years, there were 200 foxes. And then you need to figure out what time value gets you back to 800. Not 0.7, the idea is to get the next one after 2.9. So you need to know how many years have passed from 0.7 years to 2.9 years, and if you subtract those values you get 2.2. And then if you add 2.2 on to 2.9, then 2.9 plus 2.2 will give you this value in here, which will be 5.1. So then you can come down and start trying to graph those points and just make up a rough scale, over a little bit and up 800. That's one of the higher points on the function, so we can indicate that that is 800. And then over 5.1 and up 800. So we'll put a point there. Kind of a funny looking point. So let's go about right there. And then over right in the middle of that, 2.9 and up 200. So we'll say that's about right there. Now that defines the cosine curve that will go something like this. Okay? So from there you should be able to identify the amplitude, the period, the vertical shift, and the horizontal shift. Now pause the video right now and try to figure those out on your own, and then start it again to see if you're right. Don't just keep watching, pause it, so that you can make sure that you know how to do this yourself. Alright, so I put in a little extra information here, and I drew in this center line that's halfway in between 200 and 800, which is the vertical shift line. So you just need to find the middle of 200 and 800. And this one's, the numbers are fairly friendly, so you can probably just count it to figure out, but you can also use the concept of average. The middle of 200 and 800, you add the numbers up and divide by 2, so that's 1,000 divided by 2, or 500. So the y value here of this line is 500. Now you need to find the amplitude. The amplitude is the distance from the top to the center line, or from the center line to the bottom. And you'll know that you got the vertical shift right when this distance is the same. So 800 to 500 is 300, and 200 to 500 is 300. So this is 300, and that is the amplitude. Then the period is from 0.7 to 5.1. So we have to do 5.1 minus 0.7, which is 11 take away 7 is 4, carry a 1, 4.4. So the period is 4.4 years, which means the b value is 2 pi over 4.4, which you could leave it that way, but since everything's easily divisible by 2, you could also write pi over 2.2. And then the horizontal shift is represented by this value here. We're going to use a cosine function since it starts at the top. So the horizontal shift is 0.7. Alright, so the equation is y equals the vertical shift, 500, plus the amplitude, 300, times the function cosine, pi over 2.2, and time, it's a good letter for the variable, and the horizontal shift is 0.7 to the right, so we'll use a minus 0.7. Alright, so that's the function. You need to get that into the graphing calculator and then use your calculator to answer these questions. I'm going to show how to do the calculator skills in a different video and hope that you can figure out these ones on your own. Good luck.